So recently Meta just launched a new update that they are coming up with some new upgrades to their ad platform. And some of these updates are really, really interesting and can have a big positive impact on performance for advertisers. So in this video, I'm going to go through the different updates and talk through what it means for us as advertisers and also what we can kind of expect from this and a little bit of my thoughts and opinions on these updates. So that being said, this is a very, very interesting update and it will be extremely exciting to start testing out some of this new stuff when they roll it out into the Ads Manager. Now, if you are new to this YouTube channel, my name is Oli. I run Strand Media, a performance marketing agency. We work with e-commerce and info product businesses and help them scale profitably with ads on Meta. Over the last 5+ years, I've managed over multiple 7 figures in ad spend and for businesses all over the world as well. So a lot of experience, and this YouTube channel is just where I share the lessons and learnings that I have along the way as I'm helping more and more businesses get better results for their ads. So let's get into this article. So the first thing of the article, which I found the most interesting, is this part right here. So I've just screenshotted part of the article and added it in here and underlined the most interesting stuff that I found. So this is very interesting. The title for this update is Defining the Conversions Businesses Value Most. Now, I'm not going to read through this part of the article, but what they simply are saying here is that now, instead of only being able to optimize for either volume of conversions, so optimizing to get as many conversions as you can, and the other way you can do it is optimize for the value of conversions. So you're optimizing for, the customers that have the highest average order value. You can now define the value part even further. So as they're saying here, the new definitions that you will be able to add is profit and predicted lifetime value. So instead of just optimizing for customers that spend a lot in your store or have high AOV, you will now be able to optimize for profit, which is what a lot of businesses is the most important thing, right? So the customers that buy the products with the best margin and the most amount of products with the best margin, that leaves you with the best or the most amount of profit, right? The other way you can set this up eventually, based on this update here, is you can be optimizing for customer lifetime value. So this is super interesting because this is something that's not been possible until they will roll this out. So with this, you can basically then optimize not just based on the first purchase value, but on the future reoccurring value from that customer. So some customers come in and maybe they buy like a low ticket SKU. Maybe you have a product that's cheaper than the rest and it's not really a super profitable product for you, but the first order they kind of need to buy this to build trust with your business, and then maybe you have a great upsell system or cross-sell system that gets these people to come back because they're happy with the first order, even though that first order wasn't like anything super profitable or really high value order. Maybe the next order, because of this first order product, maybe the next order has much higher value and much higher margin and profitability on it. So still optimizing for this customer will be aligned with your business objectives. And that's really interesting. You see how deep this can go and how more alignment you can have between the optimization on Meta ads and what you actually want as business objectives for yourself. So super, super interesting there. So the feature that they will roll out, which will allow you to define these things, will be called conversion value rules. And we still don't know how this is going to look and specifically how this is going to be set up. But I guess they will come up with a setup where you can actually define these objectives for yourself and then optimize for what you actually want, which is very, very interesting. And personally, I'm super looking forward to start testing this with our clients as well. And make sure you subscribe because I will definitely be sharing those lessons here on this YouTube channel. So also they added an example. So let's say you as an advertiser determine that a certain part of your customer segment have a 30% higher lifetime value, then these customers will be also more valuable to you. So you can also pay more to place your ads in front of these compared to customers with lower lifetime value. So yeah, maybe your CPM is going to increase by using this because you're now, bidding on some more high value customers, but setting this up correctly long-term should get you closer to your ultimate business objectives. So yeah, really interesting stuff here. And again, I'm super looking forward to trying this out. So the next part is also really, really interesting. The title of it is Supporting New Attribution Models. Again, I'm not going to read through it. You can read through the whole article yourself. What this basically means is you will now be able to report and also optimize for incremental conversions. What this means is an incremental conversion is essentially just a conversion that would not have happened unless you actually showed your ad to them. So this might sound a little bit technical, or you might not fully understand it. Let me give you an example to further explain this. One big issue in advertising when you have multiple touch points in your marketing setup is that some of your customer journey might have some bottom of funnel Facebook ad campaigns, bottom of funnel Google ad campaigns, and maybe have some other platforms as well. Figuring out which touch point were the ones that actually made a conversion is very difficult, because all of these advertising platforms want credit for the sale, because if they get the credit, you're more likely to still spend money on their platform, right? So there's competition between Google and competition between Meta and also other platforms. So this makes it really hard to understand where do you actually need to spend your ad budget, because you just don't really know which of these platforms are actually doing the heavy lifting in making people convert. So with this new attribution model, you will be able to optimize so that you only allocate your ad dollars to the campaigns, ad sets, and ads that improve your incremental conversions. So I think when you start using this, probably for a lot of businesses, more money is going to flow into your top of funnel campaigns, because you probably have some Google bottom of funnel setup. Maybe you run retargeting there as well. And maybe you're just, spending unnecessary amounts on bottom of funnel campaigns. Maybe a lot of these people are, adding to cart, not purchasing right away. And then they see some ads. Maybe they don't need to see those ads before they convert. Maybe they just need some more time to, complete the order. And maybe you have like email flows set up to automatically remind them to complete their order when they add it to cart and all that stuff. So maybe right now you're having a lot of inefficient ad dollars being spent on bottom of funnel. And in that case, with these new attribution models that also actually affect how the campaigns optimize, your ad dollars might be moved into things that are just going to overall be more efficient for your business. Now, sure, that might not mean that all of the spend is now going to top of funnel, but I think over time, the allocation between, top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel is going to become better overall for your business. Now, one thing I've heard regarding this new update is that this will be most valuable for the businesses that have been running conversion lift experiments. If you go into the experiment section in your ads manager, you can actually run conversion lift studies or conversion lift experiments where you measure the incremental impact of your meta ads. Basically, you just run a study to figure out, since you have multiple touch points, where you actually need to spend your money and where it's actually a bit unnecessary to place your ad dollars because it's not impacting your overall sales. So this is actually really hard to do for most businesses. To run a conversion lift study, you need a certain requirement for ad spend. I'm not going to get too much into it. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to see if you can do a study like this. You have to spend a lot of money on ads, and you need a certain attribution setup already, and you need a lot of historic data to be able to run this. But maybe for some businesses, maybe you might be able to run this. In that case, you could definitely look into it, because when they roll this out, this could be more beneficial for you compared to somebody that never ran conversion lift study in the past. Now, really interesting here, when they tested this experiment this year, actually, so 2024, advertisers saw an average improvement of more than 20% in incremental conversions. So what that means is they increased sales by 20% that would not have been increased unless people have seen ads on Meta. So that's really interesting there. And if that will be the case for a lot of businesses, then you will have way more efficient allocation of your ad dollars. Now, this next update is also interesting. I'm just really unsure how valuable it actually will be from a perspective of an advertiser. So this new update would actually allow you to integrate your third-party analytics tool with Meta ads, which hasn't been possible in the past. Now, again, I'm not sure how much of an impact this will actually have on performance, but what they are saying is that the AI models on Meta will be able to look at all the different touch points in your marketing setup to better understand your customer journey and then help fine-tune the campaign optimization based on that. So it's very hard to say like how much of an impact this will have. It will probably, be very different for different businesses. But one thing that I think can be interesting with this is, one issue that we have had for a lot of clients that have been using the cost per result goal or bid cap or cost cap bid strategies. So basically just any cost control bid strategies. when the tracking isn't accurate. So that means the CPA or the ROAS isn't accurate in the reporting of Meta, but it is more accurate in the triple whale or any other analytics tool the business might use. Then using these bid strategies, you have to take into account the difference between what is actually being reported in Meta and what the actual CPA is based on the backend data. So by integrating your analytics tool and you can get this correct data directly into Meta Ads Manager, what I do think, and I'm not sure if this will be the case, but you should then be able to use any cost control bid strategies more effectively, because it will not stop spending if the CPA all of a sudden looks way less than what it actually is, just because tracking is off. So that's one interesting thing there. And yeah, it also does say that the AI models will optimize better when you integrate with your third-party tool, but hard to say right now, but definitely will be interesting to test when they roll this out. So again, in this part of the article, they are talking about how this actually did improve results for some of the tests that they ran. So based on their experiment, advertisers saw a 30% average increase in their Meta attributed conversions as measured by their third-party analytics tool. So if this is actually a 30% increase in Meta conversions or just Meta attributed conversions, like if it's just the tracking being more accurate, then of course that doesn't necessarily have any immediate impact on the optimization and end result. But still, this is an interesting update and will definitely be cool to test out. They also do say that when businesses are using this, they see a rise in CPMs in some cases. And that, I guess, is just normal, because when do you have better tracking and the AI is better understands what customers to focus on, it will probably focus on customers that are more high value. And in that case, more businesses will then compete for that target audience, which again then will increase the CPMs. So that totally makes sense there. So as you can see, a lot of interesting updates here. I'm really excited about this update. And when they roll it out, we will definitely start to test as much as we can of this for our clients. And then all the lessons and learnings I make on that, I will definitely make a video about on this channel. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. You can also subscribe to my newsletter with the link in the description, where I'll send you these updates and the learnings that I have along the way, together with these YouTube videos. So if you don't want to miss out, you can also subscribe there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next week in my next video.